Hello YouTube. Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch, also known as Mr. Lighting and a Fan. And yes, I have my lighting and I have my fan. How you doing? So as some of you may or may not know, I used to offer metaphysical classes. That was one of the psychic services I used to offer. For a variety of reasons, I no longer offer metaphysical classes. There are a few reasons for this. I'd rather not go into them now, but if you really want to know, ask me in the comments and I'll let you know. Okay, that's number one. Of all the metaphysical classes that I offered, my most popular one was the prosperity class I used to offer, and it was called the Divine Prosperity Event. Now, from time to time, I would send the regular and semi-regular participants of all of my prosperity classes, group, private, in-person, and online, a series of emails. The emails were called the Prosperous Minds emails. And I used to only send them to the participants of my prosperity classes, and especially to the regular participants of my prosperity classes. Now, because I no longer offer metaphysical classes, now I no longer offer those emails exclusively to the participants of my group or private in-person or online prosperity classes, which means now I am opening it up to all of you. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to let you know which newsletters are available, and you in the comments can let me know. Well, actually you can do two things, but I will get to that in a moment. So first, Prosperous Minds Lead to Prosperous Lives. This is the prosperity-oriented newsletter that I would send periodically. Sometimes I would send it once a month, sometimes I would send it once a week. It really depended on my guidance and leading. I know that sometimes here's a fun fact, I did not send out a Prosperous Minds email for almost 2 months. And I definitely remember sending one out today as a reminder, because the upcoming new moon is a new moon in Taurus. And in Western astrology, Taurus is the sign of money and possessions. Although esoterically, it's a sign of love, money, and creativity. But I digress. And now we have the Divine Love Healing newsletter. One of the other metaphysical classes I used to lead was called the Divine Love Healing event. And I would send a newsletter to the participants of that particular class. Now, originally, that newsletter was called the Divine Love Letters. However, off the top of my head, I know of 2 metaphysical practitioners that send an email newsletter called the Divine Love Letters. So I'm like, you know what, I need to come up with a different name. So I came up with the Divine Love Healing newsletter, because that's really the focus of this particular newsletter. I don't know when I'm going to send the next one, but if you want to be included in that, let me know, and I'll make sure to include you. And then we have one that I've never offered before, which is called Protect Yourself. Protect Yourself is all about spiritual psychic defense, psychic self-defense, spiritual protection, and anything that can be used to create divine protection. I'm very excited about this because I already have a few ideas in mind for the Protect Yourself newsletter. And then I definitely want to create a newsletter that focuses on deity, and specifically deities such as goddesses, gods, ascended masters, archangels, angels, and the ancestors. I'm calling it the Spirits newsletter. And the Spirits newsletter is going to focus on different goddesses, different angels, ascended masters. It's also going to focus on venerating the ancestors, how to work with different deities, and from time to time I will include a book. I'll write about a book that I happen to have found out about, or a book that I've used exclusively. There are already 2 books that I already know that I'm going to be discussing in at least one of those issues. So, and then we have the Witch Bitch newsletter. Now, the Witch Bitch newsletter I've never offered before, and I'm actually very excited about it. And of course, You know, I have to I can't help but smile because, as some of you know, there are two YouTube channels that I happily follow. I do not watch them often enough. They are both wonderful. One is Martin of Martin's Musings, that's his YouTube channel, and Levi of Masculine Intuition Readings. Now here's the funny thing. Okay. I will reply to that comment in a little while. Thank you very much. Here's the funny thing. So for a while now, I've been using the phrase witches and bitches. Now it just so happens that Levi and Martin co-host, and I don't know how often it is, but they do a live streaming video called Witchin' and Bitchin'. So when I first saw that, I was like, ooh, we're in the same mindset. So I don't know what the Witch Bitch newsletter is going to be all about. I will more than likely acknowledge both Martin of Martin's Musings and Levi of Masculine Intuition Readings for their energetic contributions to that newsletter, whatever they may be. But I'm really excited about this, and I'm also excited about how it's going to look and what it's going to focus on, because, you know, this is a totally new creation. As a matter of fact, the idea of the Witch Bitch newsletter came to me, I think it came to me last night. I was like, ooh, yeah. So I don't know what this is going to be about, but I'm very excited about it. And I'm actually excited about it because I don't know what it's going to be about. So that's 4 different newsletters. Prosperous Minds Lead to Prosperous Lives, the Divine Love Healing newsletter, Protect Yourself, the Spirits newsletter, which focuses on goddesses, gods, goddesses, gods, archangels, ascended masters, ancestors, saints. I gotta include the saints. I'm a happily recovered Catholic, but I am a witch that venerates the saints. And there is a candle that I'm going to be using to harass the ass of St. Jude. I already told him, because there are some people that need jobs. And they need those jobs yesterday. And I'm going to tell St. Jude, I'm going to harass your ass again. Because, you know, some people have bills to pay. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. So, those are the newsletters. Now, in the comments, let me know which newsletter most interests you, and you can either, just to be on the safe side, you can send me an email. My email address will be included in the description box. It is thetarotman@bluetiehome.com, and it is also in my bio on my YouTube account in the About section. So what I'm going to do is, once you let me know which newsletter interests you the most, I will make sure to include you in that email newsletter sending. I didn't say that correctly, but I think you know what I mean. And you'll let me know. I know that there's somebody who's been using my psychic services for a while, and as a matter of fact, she had a phone reading with me earlier today, and she's also a subscriber to my YouTube channel. She already told me I want to be subscribed to all of them, so I already have her email address, and the next one that I send to her, I'll make sure to include her and all that other good stuff. It's something that really excites me. It makes me very happy to share what I've learned, and it makes me very happy to write about different resources that are available. And one thing that I will say is that just because I recommend a certain book or a certain practice, that doesn't mean you have to use it. It just means that it's another option. And most of you in YouTube land know that I am very fond of saying you have options. And you absolutely have a lot of options. So that's all there is to say right now about the upcoming newsletters and the newsletters that are already in place. But if you have any questions, you can either submit it in the comments, or you can email me directly with your question. Either way is fine. For now, I wish all of you a beautiful night, a wonderful week. As always, I thank you for honoring who I am and what I do, and for honoring Drake, more commonly known as my awesome audiovisual person, for my YouTube videos and everything he does as well. And stay tuned for the next video.